Well, we got some technical issues. Oh, goodness. We have some technical issues here. Alright, well that camera works. Hi, camera. Pull out of this camera. Oh, goodness. Incremental improvements. I guess I could do the entire stream like this one. Good morning. For now. This would obviously be the morning where that would be the thing that would happen. So I added a new camera angle to be able to try to really capture well for when I do repairs on the stream. So I'm going to be doing typewriter repairs. That was planned to start tomorrow, and so I just added this camera in, and I wasn't going to even use it today. But it looks to me like my laptop camera is not working, which is really a shame. I was excited to use it. Is there a way to deactivate and activate? Let's try that. No, we're still stuck. Deactivate and activate. It should be plugged in. I mean, it's also the laptop camera. So, I'm sorry for showing you this black screen. Well, anyway, today wasn't going to be a huge show anyway. Welcome if you are watching and tuning in and looking forward to poetry. I can still give that to you. This is the Poetry Studio, episode number 88 on Twitch. A very nice, relaxing morning show to be able to kind of guide our, a poetic expression of any sort, whatever you're feeling. I am bleary-eyed as all heck. My wife and I pulled back into the parking lot of our home yesterday at 1:30 a.m. because I had done my first wedding. And I guess this episode is going to be more reflections on weddings and reflections on writing for weddings because this was my first time doing it. This channel sometimes acts as a sort of vlog, and if there's anybody out there that is feeling, oh goodness, the stats reset too? So weird. If there's anybody out there that's feeling poetic, you can just drop something in the chat. I'll keep a lazy eye on it, but I might not even write anything this morning, or I might write something just inspired by what I'm talking about. Since, I can't show you guys what I'm writing, I don't want to be writing too much. And you get to see a little bit behind the scenes, what this all looks like, the mess of it all. The little lamp here, you can kind of see. And the computer is usually facing this direction, which is why I usually get that perspective. So, yeah. Anyway, so poetry at weddings. It was a marathon. It was amazing. I don't know, I lost count at like 15 or 16 on how many poems I was doing, but I was doing a lot. And I really like the nervous stance of, am I getting this right? Is it getting too personal? Keeping it fun, but also meaningful. Learning how people feel about things. Celebrating the things that are there. The wedding was at a beautiful winery. And the fact is there's so much joy at weddings. There's so much joy in the celebration of these weddings. People are just everywhere doing everything in every sort of way. I'm trying to fix this as we Goodness gracious. Don't know why it's not doing the right thing on this. I don't know if I should just keep trying to troubleshoot or just 5 minutes talking about the wedding. It was worth every moment. Was really the way that it felt. Because it was nonstop typing. And even though, the blood is still pumping through my ears, and the drive home was a little harrowing. It was raining the entire way back, and we went 2 hours to do this wedding. It was a dream to be able to write and write and write. And write and write and write. Just be filling the space with words. It got scary at certain points. The pressure was on. I was sometimes feeling a little overwhelmed because there was just so many people, so many poems suddenly, and I hadn't felt that way. It's funny, do a lot of busking, I write here, I'm busy, I work on stuff all the time. I hadn't felt that busy in poetry for like at least a year. There was a time last year when I went to Adams Morgan for a short time. It was only 40 minutes of my life. And I sat down on the sidewalk doing the busking thing. And I did not lift my fingers from the keys for a solid 40 minutes. Poem after poem after poem after poem after poem. And it was wonderful. That doesn't usually happen. Doesn't usually work. It's like that. Like I'm saying, not saying that it doesn't work like that, but usually with busking on the street, there's not as much demand. You hit the right festival at the right time of year with the right people in the right place, and you can have just total fire spewing from the typewriter the entire night. But most days, I'm sitting there waiting for a poem. I get a poem. I get maybe 2 or 3 poems, and maybe I have a queue of 2 or 3 people. That's the most. And I never really had more than a queue of 2 or 3 people. I was surprisingly able to keep it managed under control, and that is because I have to give thanks to the one person who really made this all possible, my wonderful wife. So it was a kind of a last-minute casual thing. I've been trying to have her be more integrated in the business. I'm doing more of her things. We're sharing in our love of creative career. And she's like, I want to go to these weddings. I was like, all right. So we didn't even, change the pricing or anything. It was just like, all right, my wife's going to come to the weddings and help and kind of be I figured it was going to kind of be more like my guide and assistant. And it was so much more than that. Because she was taking the requests and because I was just writing, I never stopped writing. She just always had another thing ready, and she was like, all right, this person did this, this, and this, and I just go. And then she was like, all right, this person did this and this. And if you're just joining me and you're like, what is going on with the camera angle? It is because I tried to set up a new camera today and it broke up the cameras. So, just rolling with the punches here. If I try to go back to my laptop camera, there we go. Nothing. Nada. Wonder if it's because I was running something else at a certain point. I bet you if I restarted my computer, everything would be fine. But restarting my computer would mean that I would not be able to continue the current stream. And I don't want to do that. So, anyway, so that was what it was like with her being there. And really, it was so much discovery. I had my little black notebook, and I was writing things down whenever I thought of something that we had not thought of for that wedding. And apparently, that's a thing with becoming a wedding vendor, especially in a more alternative field like mine, is you got to kind of explore it. You got to try it. You got to jump in there, start writing, and look, that's something we didn't think of. Write that down. Oh, we did think of that. That's good. We're going to do it again. And really making it count in that way. But what really, and among the other things, and we'll go back to kind of my wife in a little while, but one of the things that really, 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 really stood out was how energized this made people feel. It scares me, frankly. how energized that this type of thing makes people feel. And I don't want to say that as like a big, humble brag. It's not a humble brag. It's that when you find something that's absolutely valuable and necessary in the world for people that they say is so, you just got to keep throwing crap at that, like you got to keep throwing ideas and inspiration. And, I think the Idea Muscle guy, he wrote a song, included clips from the Idea Muscle guy, I can't remember, but he talked about how, you could make a bad you make a bad idea successful. Like execution has a range, and you can make a bad idea successful. You can make a great idea terrible. And so I wonder where my idea is sitting in terms of execution right now. Is it on the good? Is this really good? Am I doing great? Is everything kind of together? Is it fantastic? Am I blowing things out of the water, or am I actually messing things up, creating unintentional consequences? And those are kind of the feelings from all that. I want to make, and one of the things though that did help lengthen the time, and my wife has actually suggested I shorten the poems so I can do more poems with more people, an egalitarian way of kind of managing the text. But I want to, I love connecting to the stories, and it's great. I think that there's some confusion that happens no matter what. People are not sure what I am doing, how to place it. And that's definitely true. That I have to kind of keep working at explaining it and parsing it out and making sure that it's very clear that, these are poems that you request, I write them, you give me the topics, you tell me where you want the poem to go, how you want people to feel with that poem. And again, having my wife there as a sidekick really helped make the night efficient. But it was not just that I had someone, it was that I had my wife. She's such a powerful force in terms of just caring and, but also mind melding. Like she mind melds with me in the moment. Like we had someone come up and they said what they said, but then I was able to turn around and ask my wife, well, how does she feel? And I know my wife, and I know how she describes people, so I was able to almost make it like I was looking at her through her eyes, and so I knew what I wanted to write for this poem for this woman because my wife had spoken to her, and I know what my wife felt. Weddings during COVID return us to the genuine meaning of that love. That's what I'm going to say in terms of what it was like, the wedding in general. I mean, obviously there's safety concerns. I do not want to discredit those. But I really feel that having a wedding during COVID is one of the most inspirational things that people are doing now. Scary. It's definitely not inspirational in terms of safety, but it's inspirational in terms of saying that family must continue in these moments. I don't really have much else I would say. Other than it was a gift. And the other thing I would say, we really had this realization at a certain point. Amazing realization. That I was sitting there with this writing machine, typewriter. And I was just looking at, all these kids dancing to Hips Don't Lie. The music's blasting. I am pouring through another poem. This is a 1934. This was the machine I took. This is a 1934 Royal Oak. All right. I don't know if this banquet hall had ever actually seen a typewriter. It was a relatively new banquet hall. But not only did it see a typewriter, it saw this typewriter. And this typewriter had people who commonly spend most of their time on computers and smartphones just coming up to me. And it wrote. It did not stop. These keys did not stop the entire night. And I don't want to say I'm proud of the typewriter. It's a typewriter. It's a machine. But there's something utterly impossible about the whole thing. And I wrote a little poem. I wouldn't even call it a poem. And it was, I am sitting with my wife wearing a fedora and with a 1934 Royal Oak typewriter. While hips don't lie by Shakir meters of the writing machine. Poetry is alive. Just really marveling at the displaced placement, the comfort of the anachronism is game changing, really. And I don't know how much, really, I don't know how much of what I do over Twitch, hopefully it's all working, I don't even know if it's working, over Twitch, over my busking, over weddings and things like that. I don't know how much of it is entertainment and how much of it is really helping, like a service, carving out into the soul. But I know that there is most certainly a portion of it that does. And it could be a game changer. It could be a game changer in a lot of ways, because if this is something that people see, and this is something that people feel is important to mark the special day of their lives, it's more than just business for me. We change how we feel about words. Words have a greater meaning. They have depth. We're able to celebrate things in a way that we couldn't before, and we don't blast by those moments. And if people can see beautiful moments more, like really can appreciate three best friends, all girls, who are all launching themselves into adulthood and all scrambling to get, well, 2 out of the 3 of them are scrambling to get married during the pandemic, have their inside jokes, and to take a moment and stop and look at that. Like, you're in the middle of it all the time. And that doesn't mean you should always be looking at it. That's my job, and the fact is someone that it takes, I don't want to, I mean, anybody can do it, but I've been through a lot of pain. I've even been through a lot of recent pain. And I've been through a lot of just looking at life differently, that allows me to kind of always see the colors. But even I go into life, I get into the routine, I dive into the grind. So it's not just me, like being there going, basking. I'm not. I'm a mess. And I also get caught up in stupid stuff. But the fact is poetry is always there to help me pull out of that. But it's not always there for other people, because not everybody else is a poet or knows a poet. And so by having a presence there, I can suddenly pull back. And while I can't make people better, I don't think I can. I mean, I can help people, but I don't think I can make them better humans. But what I can do is I can help them stop. And when they stop, they'll see other things. They'll see everything. They can see who they are. They can see who they are in this world. I might have written that poem about the 3 girls all celebrating life. And this girl, who was the third, one of the 3 girls, might have rekindled a friendship or like made it more intense because of words I said. And I'm not saying I take credit for that. I absolutely don't. Because she's the one that requests a poem. Everybody that requests a poem is the first instigator. But I think that poetry does have the capacity to help people be better. I don't want to make them better. I make them more good. I don't want to say that. I don't want to say they're going to be more moral with people. It's just because if people are learning how to stop and see the roses, that's all of poetry is some level of stopping and contemplating the roses. Of this is a rose. This is beauty blossoming out of the ground. And realizing that, piecing that together and seeing a metaphor for that. And then relating yourself to the rose. Like so many things happen in contemplation. And I don't just mean like thinking about something. I mean like pure true contemplation. They both happen on an intellectual level and also on a more meditative subconscious level. So, when you stop, you order your breathing, obviously your mind is going to feel that state of self and feel that state of silence is going to just rest in there. And then, so that's the subconscious. And then the actual practical is sometimes you're not really meditating when you stop and contemplate a rose, but you are thinking about the things that you don't see and seeing that. Well, I don't know if I do that justice. How much of what I do is more just fun words on a page, but I definitely know that it is just a powerful gift to be able to be present to people there. And now, my wife and I really just been thinking about it. It's just, I gotta do more of this. More. So if you have a wedding, or you're watching this later on, you have a wedding, call me. I'll make it there. I'll make it happen. It's a passion about it. Well, we're 25 minutes out when we started. Beyond some of the technical issues, we've been talking for about 20 minutes about what was it like to do this wedding. And I could even turn this into a vlog later on, or maybe like kind of brush it up and redo this and turn it into a vlog. But I want to thank anybody that is tuning in through Twitch. We have not had any poetry requests, which is good because I am not prepared to try to show them this black screen, that black screen. Oh, heck. Well, I will spend some of my morning and my day working out these issues. You all have a good day.